Many brands out there struggle with actually scaling their shopping ads, and while there are many ways to do so, I want to focus on one particular metric in today's video, and that is impressions. Remember, if you calculate your revenue and your sales, it's basically just the multiplication of impressions times click-through rate times conversion rate. So if you think about it, let's say for example you get 10,000 impressions, you have a typical shopping ads click-through rate of 1%, and you have a typical e-commerce conversion rate of 2%, that's like 10,000 multiplied by 0.01 multiplied by 0.02, which is essentially only 2 sales. That doesn't sound that much, right? So you should focus a lot of your energy on increasing this first factor in the equation, the impressions. Then of course you should also focus on maximizing your click-through rate and your conversion rate and so on and so forth. But again, for the sake of this video, I will focus now on impressions as one factor to focus on. Number one is that you should absolutely refresh and optimize your product feed. And while this is something that's very obvious and that you have heard numerous times, let me explain. So what you should do first is you want to take a look at your competitors and see what they are doing on Google Shopping. Are they mentioning any words, any keywords, any features that you might be lacking, especially when you do multiple searches on Google and you know the top 2 to 3 listings that may come up over and over again, they must be doing something right, because only if you are at the top, few spots can you actually get the maximum number of impressions. If you are somewhere at number 10, 15, 20 and you only come up occasionally, this by definition of course means that you're not getting the maximum amount of impressions. So take inspiration from basically the top few listings that show up all the time. See if they're using any abbreviations, any synonyms, any keywords that you're not actively using in your product titles, and incorporate them there. What you should also do is you should highlight some of the key features that you have. So let's say you have a product that is in the, electronic space or has some electronic element to it, mentioning Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or whatever it might be, or if you have a product that is waterproof that might be relevant to people, add those things, because when you check the search term report or the keyword planner, very often do you see that people search for these things. We have clients selling phone cases, we have clients selling phone accessories, we have clients selling leather backpacks, and in all these 3 examples, things like waterproof, for example, matter, right? And we see that there are a ton of search queries using some of these features while others might not be that relevant. Next up, we have raise bids and make sure that you're not restricting yourself too much with other things. So I've audited several hundreds of accounts, and sometimes what I see is that there are people, they run a shopping campaign, and they have a target of like 400% ROAS in. And that is because, let's say they need 350 to break even or 300 to break even or whatever it is, so they put some margin on top of that and then they call it a day. And don't get me wrong, there are many people understanding that you have to regularly tweak your targets and actually to get the maximum results possible. But if you are actually struggling with volume, right, try a much more aggressive target. Try something like 200% instead of 400, 150 instead of 300, right? Maybe even setting a target where you would be unprofitable is a good idea. And also one thing to keep in mind is the target is not what Google will ultimately hand over to you, right? In many cases, if the campaigns are running sufficiently long enough, you will ultimately see the real ROAS coming down to the target that you specified. But if you, for example, get very little traffic and you set a target of 200% instead of 400, where you might not be making money yet, you will see that you might get an actual ROAS of, for example, 320%. So drastically reduce the target if you feel like you're missing out on a ton of impressions. Take a look at your search impression share. If that is very, very far away from 100%, 30, 20, 40, chances are that you could win a lot by just reducing the target and reducing the limitations. Other limitations, for example, include things like having negative keywords that you haven't reviewed for a while. I've seen a client with multiple negative keyword lists, or a prospect that became a client eventually, and I was taking a look at those, and guess what? He had like 3 or 4 lists, as I said, couple hundred negatives each. Most of them were looking good, but then there were literally 3 or 4 broad match negative keywords that were super, super broad and that were literally blocking a significant portion of traffic. You know, think of something like in my previous example, waterproof as a broad match one, right? Or think as, for example, having a color that he used to not be selling, but now he added a whole bunch of products that had this color. So make sure that if you have been using negative keywords for a long time and you haven't questioned them, that you revisit. And especially if you're using short, small, broad match negative keywords, they might be drastically limiting your volume without you even noticing. Because I mean, who's actually looking back at negatives, right? Typically you set them, you say like, hey, great, I've added a few hundred negative keywords, that has been some great optimization right there, and then you forget about it. But this is something that makes sense to review at least, you know, every couple of months or so, just to be sure. Same applies for things like geos. If you, for example, have some countries that you've been missing on, or maybe you've restricted yourself to one area, or maybe you have some huge bid adjustments in place for devices if you're using manual CPC and things like that. By the way, if you're stuck with your Google ads or your Google shopping ads, make sure that you check my quick fix 30-day blueprint that you can find in the description. It's a free Google sheet that you can literally get within like 30 seconds. You can open it right away, and in there you'll find a whole bunch of steps that will be updated regularly, showing you exactly what you can change, what you can adjust, with like an explanation and how big of an impact this might have. So check the link in the description and in the comments and take a look at the sheet. All right, and now we'll get to the last point, and that is check your Merchant Center quality. Now, I cannot emphasize that enough. Google Ads will take a look at your Merchant Center basically all the time and constantly. So the moment that a product gets disapproved, the moment that a product will have a warning, the moment that a product will be limited for whatever reason, right? I have seen cases where Google Ads was thinking that a brand is selling dangerous goods when this was a totally random check, right? Like they're doing these crawling activities where they're basically taking a look at your feed in an automated way. And every now and then they mistake your products for something totally different. So if you're not checking and making sure that you have no limitations, good example is also in the fashion space, not adding genders or colors, right? Or in other spaces where even forgetting about something like the Google product category can cost you a few percentage points in impressions, because now Google is not able to always match you with the perfect search queries. Of course, Google still knows exactly what you sell because they crawl your page, they have your description, they have your title. But if you fix all of that, you can definitely be sure that there are like 5, 10, 20, 30 percentage points sometimes of impressions that you can gain. So one of the very first activities that we do with clients when we take over and we optimize and scale their account is do a full assessment of their product feed. Okay, how good is that? Is it worth for us to spend, 5 hours now on fully optimizing the whole thing? Or is it in great shape and we can just focus on some of the best performers, adjust them a little bit and call it a day, right? But the point is, the feed is where everything starts. Take a look at it, make sure that there are, of course, no issues, but also as few warnings as possible, and that every product uses all the attributes that it has to, and ideally even more than that, so that you get the full optimization in. And now there's one last quick fix in the end, and that is if your shopping ads literally struggle with volume no matter what you do, then it can be a good idea to actually use a PMAX campaign instead. You see, the thing with shopping ads is that they cannot run on maximized conversion value anymore. So either the only way you can maximize your volume is by using manual CPC, max clicks, and setting like an ultra high CPC or no bid cap. And if you use target ROAS, which is typically the bidding strategy that works a lot better, you cannot run max conversion value. And if you just set it to 50% target, that's also not the best thing, right? Because that's not the same as saying I want to maximize my value, because now you're telling Google essentially you're making money with 50% ROAS, with a ROAS of 50%, which is obviously kind of impossible. So if nothing works, everything that I mentioned you have tried, and you still get very few impressions, maybe, of course, there is just very, very little interest and demand in your niche, or for some reason your shopping ads are too restricted and you should give PMAX a try. I have seen cases where this works, where moving over to PMAX, max conversion value, full throttle, actually gives traffic to a campaign or to an account that previously has been very limited. So it might be something that is worth trying in your case, but only, as I said, if you tried everything else. Of course, PMAX can always be a good idea. We have numerous examples of highly successful, highly scalable PMAX campaigns spending thousands and thousands of dollars per day. Nonetheless, it can make sense, especially on small budgets, to go with shopping and search first. So if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, please subscribe for more Google Ads and performance marketing content for e-commerce. And if you run an e-com store, ideally making like $1 million per year or more, and you really don't want to bother with all of these things, you simply want to get the most out of Google Ads possible, sell as much as possible, and hit the highest possible ROAS, make sure to check the other link in the description as well to have an Ignite call with me where we sit down and talk about how we here at Cartlift can help you grow your account significantly, even with a performance guarantee if you meet a few qualifications. So if that's interesting to you, make sure to check the link in the description, and I look forward to see you in the next video again. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.